I'm recording on one of my iPhones, my old iPhone, so hopefully the volume is okay for everybody to hear me, understand me, whatever the case may be. But anyway, it's your girl Malika and I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about uh, the PPR exam. This. And it's a rental, but I started off running and then I found out my teacher told me that I needed to keep it because I was going to need it for one of my exams. So I ended up just buying it, but I never peeled the sticker off. So you know what? I'm just gonna do that right now. Okay. We're gonna be talking about the pedagogy professional responsibilities test. And this is the test that you have to take in the state of Texas if you want to become a teacher. It's one of them. I'm sorry. One of the tests that you have to take if you want to become a teacher. So I was on YouTube. Let's just start off like I was on YouTube and I was just looking up. I was trying to look up videos to see, just to like get information about the PPR because I heard of it before, but it's just like when you get your associates, they don't really talk too much about these type of details. So when I got my associates and I started going to Clear Lake, UHCL. They was on us hard about us taking the test early so that we wouldn't have to worry about it when our internship came because at our college once you can take the test early if you would like, but the way they do it is before you get into internship 2 you have to complete all of your state tests. So they were on us hard about preparing early, these different type of things. So I started freaking out. But then we had a class that's what we went over. Like we went over state exams to become a teacher. That's what the whole class was about. I think like the first 3 weeks we went over the PPR exam, and then each week afterwards we went over a different core subject. And then for the people who were doing elementary, they did like PE specials, that type of thing. But anyway, so in this video we're going to talk about that. So the first thing I recommend is definitely buying this book. I know my ring light is in the way, but I definitely suggest you guys buy this book. I just had to do a thumbnail. So my teacher basically, we bought this book, and we also had in the preparation. Am I even saying this right? Hold on, y'all. I'm 40 questions that you can take like as an exam, just kind of test yourself, whatever the case may be. So we did that. That's one of the first things we did was went over the preparation manual. We went over that before we even touched the book. So that's my first. That would be my first advice to you guys is to get the preparation manual and annotate, highlight, and read constantly over and over and over again because that's what I did. That's what helped me pass. Okay, so let me get that straight. I passed. I took the test this last Monday. I got my result by Friday at 8 p.m. It was like after 8. I had got an email saying I passed the exam. This was my first time taking it. But I passed it on the first try, which was super, super, super exciting, and I was so happy. Preparation manual, annotate, highlight. What are you doing? Annotate and highlight everything. And that would be my first thing, okay? Second thing is to the second thing I did was I signed up for 240 Tutoring. Now they have different websites that can help you. Like I think Classifiers Teachers, Teacher Today, 240 Tutoring. You could practice release start tests, AP tests and test flyers. It's just a bunch of different things, different websites. You guys could just go look up the websites. But again, I use 240 Tutoring. The reason why I use that is because that's what I was comfortable with. And a lot of people say they provide too much information. I don't feel like that at all. I feel like they provided exactly what you needed to know. So, my advice would be to definitely get a website that can help you study and tutor you. Mine was again 240 Tutoring. And I had took the practice test on there first because again in our college we have to pass the practice test before we are able to get the green light to take the state exam, right? So I took my practice test with 240 Tutoring, and I passed it. But I took it twice. I took the practice test twice before I passed it. So you guys can look it up. Again, I can't really explain. You guys just look it up and see which website fits you, right? So anyway, then I started studying everything in this book. I took the test in this book, but I wasn't really big on like reading the material. Like I started looking at, the only thing is like I started looking at like the competencies that I had trouble with, which was like 9, I think 9. I don't know. I'm trying to remember. Oh, competency 10. Cause I highlighted and I made notes and competencies I had trouble with. Oh, competency 3. So like the competencies that I knew I had trouble with, I just went over it in this book. So again, first advice, preparation manual. Second, find a website that can help you and tutor you, that you can take practice tests on. And then you also need this book. So I would definitely buy this book. You don't have to sit up there and read the whole book now, but they have 3 tests that you can take, right? 2 in the book and 1 online. So in this book, they give you an access code. Use that access code to log in and take the pre-test. You can take them over and over and over again until you get it, because that's what I did. I took it over and over and over and over again until I got it. Another thing I did was I did my own anchor charts. So this is just talking about like the Bloom's taxonomy. And these are just words that I don't know if you guys can see it. These were just like words that went with the different level. So like for remember, I had like know, tell, list, define. For like create, I had design, produce, imagine, invent. You know, just that type of stuff. Then I also printed it out. But I don't know why I printed this out, but I still looked over it. Even though I made my own, I still looked over that. Something else that I had trouble remembering was these stages for the I think it's like Erickson's theory. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but I had trouble remembering these, so I had to print it out and color code it, because color coding things really helped me a lot, if you guys can't tell by now, by all that highlighting y'all seen in the preparation manual. I used that. Then when I first took the practice test, I made like a 68. No, I'm sorry, I made a 78. Yeah, I made a 78 and it's right here. So when you go to 240 Tutoring and you take the practice test, they give you a practice test score report. And on this score report, you'll see like the different, which questions went with which category, right? And so I knew that I needed to practice on, I love that 240 Tutoring gave me the support to show me which competencies that I needed to study, because I felt like I was lost. Like I kept studying everything, but I needed to know specifically what I needed to work on. So therefore, I made this. I mean, I took this and it gave me the support. So I studied those different sections over and over and over again. I studied, I took notes, I did everything I needed to do with that. I took it again and I passed it and I got the green card to go and take my state exam. Well, so happened COVID hit and all this different stuff hit. So whenever I went to pay for my state exam to schedule the appointment, I had to wait like a month before I could take the exam. That kind of made me nervous, but then I was like, whatever. So I took the exam on August 10th, and that was just what it was. Like, I couldn't do anything because of COVID. Something else I had did was on the second test, the one I made an 80 on, I went ahead and highlighted, because remember, this is the practice test that was in the book. This is one of the practice tests. This is test 2 that's in the book. So what I did was took it online, and then all the questions I got wrong, I went back and I highlighted them and I went over them on paper so that I could visually see and highlight and annotate and do what I needed to do to understand why I missed that, right? So my biggest thing was understanding why did I miss that. And I work in a school now, so having to say it's the perfect world was really, really hard, because I know some of these things don't happen in a school system now. So that was another good thing I could say. If you buy the book, take the test online, and then go in the book and highlight the ones you got wrong and redo them and annotate as much as possible, so that you can understand it. So that's what I did. And then towards the end, like the last week before my test, I just started doing all of the questions. So like even the ones I got right, I just started going over them, just to refresh my mind. Here's another anchor chart I made. This is the theories of cognitive development, and then this is the Vygotsky. I can't never remember that name. If I see it on paper, I know what it is, but sometimes I can't remember like the pronunciation of it. But anyway, so these are just some anchor charts I made again. Guys, color coding really helps. Like I color code everything. Here's another one. This is the Piaget stages of development. I just made a quick little anchor chart about that. And the last thing, I went on YouTube. Believe it or not, this is full. Oh, I'm missing my flashcards. I made flashcards. I also made flashcards, right? Kid you not, flashcards, right? This was serious business, guys. Like, you have to study. You can't just study one way for this. You have to study different ways for this. So, I said last thing, but it's not. It's so much thing that I did to study for this test. So, again, I made flashcards, and I just was basically writing everything down just to jot it in my memory. For me, I have to write something in order for it to stick to me. So I had to literally like write the definitions. I got the Piaget stages on here, cognitive development stages. Everything is in here, like definitions, everything, like the different guys, everything. Summative assessment, formative assessment, informal, formal feedback, developmental characteristics. I have all those definitions and I studied them. Now, I will say this. I didn't study these flashcards as much as I feel like I should have. But that was okay because I was studying in different ways, not just with the flashcards, if that makes sense. Okay, Okay, so back to this. I found some videos on YouTube. I forgot the guy's name, but I will definitely link it if I remember in the description. Each video, I watched the video and I took notes. And so for each video, I took notes, color coded, all that. I did all that. Like for each competency, all the way up into competency 13. So this whole notebook is filled with just notes for each competency. And then in his videos, what I also liked was at the end of his videos, he had example questions. So what I did was I got a sticky note and I answered the questions. If you can look on here, I answered the questions and I stuck them at the end. And then I went back and I checked for my answers in his description box, because the answers are in the description box. So again, guys, oh here, see, this is what the preparational cover looked like. I need to put that back in my binder. But anyway, so again, this, guys, is so many different ways you can study. I am definitely open to help anybody study a VB, like to let them know what materials I used. I can send pictures, whatever the case may be. Again, I passed it first try. I'm really proud of myself because I stuck to it. I studied extremely hard. It was a bunch of nights that I stayed up extremely late to study for this test. So I knew that it was in me. I was just scared because I kept looking at other people's reviews about the test, and everybody was making a big deal about it and saying how they didn't understand it, they didn't pass it. And I was like, it cannot be that hard. Like, that's what I kept saying to myself. It cannot be that hard. And so when I took the test, guys, it was definitely, I definitely feel like mentally I crushed myself for no reason. I don't know, like it was extremely easy to me. It had some questions that gave me trouble, and I thought they were gonna mess me up, but it didn't. Some of the things that I did to help pass the test, again, it was definitely not, I definitely feel like I went in thinking that it was gonna be this hard exam, and you know, it just, to me, it wasn't as hard as people made it seem like. So I'm trying to think about what else I did. Like, I did so much stuff. I just prepared, guys. If I can tell you one thing, just prepare. Study and prepare. If you study and prepare, I promise you, you're gonna pass this exam. But if you don't study hard enough to lock in the material in your head, you're not gonna pass it. Again, think the ideal world. And I know that they say you have to make a 240 or higher. Don't think I need to make a 240. I need to make a 240. Think, give yourself enough space. I need to make a 280, 295, even a 300. I need to make higher than a 240. And I need to make a 240. Don't go in with that mindset. It's the ideal world. So nothing more, nothing less. Don't put yourself in the shoes. It's not about what you think or how you feel. It's about what's right in the ideal world. Okay? That's it. Guys, it's a tedious process. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I stressed a lot about this test. If I can go back and talk to myself, I would tell myself, don't stress so much. Don't stress. It's not, I feel like I went in with a very positive attitude. Like, I talked to myself the whole ride to the facility, because I was just like, you gotta pass the test, you gotta pass the test. And I passed it. But it definitely gave me anxiety. Just I think I let other people psych me out. I let other people's experience psych me out. It was just my experience taking the test. This is what I did, and um, you guys definitely, for all my people in college, take your test early. Like I have this fall semester, and then spring 2021 I start internship one. So my goal is to have my content exam and my ESL exam taken by January. My push goal is to have it taken by February. So I extended a month just because I know with COVID and all this other stuff, it might be, whatever. But get your test done early, and I promise you, you're gonna feel so much better, because I feel when I got my result, I felt like a weight just been lifted off my shoulder. So from 3 tests to 2 tests, and then if I wasn't getting ESL certified, I only would have my content exam left. That's it. So being said I'm getting ESL certified, I have to take an ESL state exam as well. So I have already made my study plans and all this other stuff. I've made it so that I can get started. I don't have to stress when it comes down to this. You have this much time before internship too. You have to take your test. You have to pass your test before the time is up. So I just want to get it out the way. So that's pretty much my goal, is to get it out the way by internship one. That way I can just relax. So again, this was my experience. Thank you guys for watching our video. I really appreciate it. Happy teacher, happy life.